Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dota Pit Season 3. We have our second game between Evil Geniuses and Team Secret. Very excited to be bringing you the coverage here. Brought to you by High Ground TV on twitch.tv/DotaPit. As always, my name is Mott. Joining me today, of course, is Pit Muckle, our observer and producer. We have Mott Pax, the stats man, and as always, Tralf joining me. Tralf, that first game was well played by Evil Geniuses. Secret, maybe some mistakes there. Obviously, I think S4 not having a great time and Sumail just taking over mid was the biggest issue. But then it became more about 5-man. Evil Geniuses, this time they're going to pick up the Tusk. And Team Secret go for the Bristleback. Let's see how they play out, man.
Yep. Sorry, I just closing something real quick. But it's now EG going with the Tuskar pick for themselves in the second pick. So they will get 2. Secret will get 1. Sorry. But yeah, so Bristleback starting things off. I know that they really like. Oh wow! I mean, I can't even touch on the Bristleback pick because we have a second pick Naga Siren.
That is not something we see too often. It's been picked here and there, but this patch Naga has been picked occasionally, just not what you see every day. It's very surprising, especially in the second slot. You don't really assume Naga Siren's going to get banned out this patch, and maybe by a few teams. But Naga Siren getting picked up second by Evil Geniuses, they go for it immediately. I'm interested, man, and what I'm also interested in where they're going to lane not only this Naga but the Tusk as well.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and I knew that Secret were gonna go for the Wisp as well. It's one of the better heroes to pair with the Bristle. It's fantastic. You can put it in off lane if you want. You can put it in safe lane. You can put it mid. It can go anywhere, but it just makes the Bristleback so extremely tanky. More tanky than he already is. But more importantly, too, and this goes for all stages of the game, it gives him a mana pool that he desperately needs, so he can,
Reserve time.
you know, just spam out his spells as liberally as he wants, so he doesn't have to worry about running out of mana. Because the Wisp is always going to be there by his side.
Yeah, this is a common, dual lane from Team Secret. They don't even have to have the eye with the Bristleback, but RTZ plays Bristleback. He's been playing it a bit. I haven't seen him play it recently, but this is something he'll play in mid from time to time. They can even put it in the safe lane. They can play it for Zai in the off lane if they want. It's just a hero that honestly Secret like to run. There's a lot of those around right now, but this one in particular is something I've seen them play so often, especially I saw it at the Summit a bit. They get it here and there. They played it against Empire twice, I believe, in MDL. And since then, I haven't seen it. When they did play it against Empire, the first matchup, it was played by RTZ mid. I think the second matchup was the same. And no, it was S4 mid. So they switch it around, but it's certainly a very strong hero currently in this meta game. The ability to run at people, the ability to just absolutely decimate people with those cool sprays.
Evil Geniuses.
It's not too fun to deal with if you're Secret. Or if you're Evil Geniuses, excuse me. So
yeah.
Good pickup from Secret.
I want to confirm with you too, because I know people don't like talking about it, but I think it does matter. Just to touch on it, just to know. Is this Lux server now?
It is US East. All 3 games are played on East server.
Oh.
Just because it makes more sense from a pragmatic standpoint, if you think about it, because the pings from like Fear and other people to Lux is above 200 by far, and everyone to US East is roughly around at least 100, 150. Some people were floating around that high 100 range to 200 range.
No, I think I think it makes sense because yeah, it's definitely more equal playing ground on USC than it is for Lux.
Personally, I'd rather have one game on Lux, honestly. That's just my personal opinion, but it makes, like I said, it makes sense from a pragmatic standpoint.
Yeah, it's a little, the way it becomes a little bit weird is when you have multiple people that are on different parts of the US. So I know Fear and Fear, Owie, and Universe would take a huge hit if it went to Lux because they would be pinging like 240, 250, something around there.
Yeah.
Smell and PPD not so much. I think they're in the Midwest, but
I think RTZ is still in Vancouver. I'm not sure if they're.
I think he's in Vancouver.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, another and that actually is I think why Secret are willing to play because RTZ is going to be playing from West as well, and exactly where pretty much AUI is playing from. So
reserve time.
Right.
Okay. I just wanted to get that clear because I wasn't sure myself.
Well, we cleared it up, man. Good work.
Thank you. I know. I'm a man of the people because the people are asking.
Yeah.
Anyway, they go with the Razor pick now for Evil Geniuses, something that's really strong against the Bristleback. Because he's a melee hero and it's easy to kind of abuse also the fact that he has this spamming viscous nasal goo, which he does not want to spam on Razor anymore because he's going to constantly purge himself. So it's a pretty good pick. It's been a long-standing, not really counter, but decent pick against Bristleback.
I'm a fan of the Razor. It's something we see occasionally. It's one of those heroes that used to be incredibly strong, but got nerfed a little bit, and since then has been picked, every so often, and for good reason. We've seen this hero do very well. Arteezy, obviously one of the best Razor players, but it's going to be on EG's side now, so I'm interested to see who's going to be playing. I still don't know. We haven't really talked about this Naga, man. We don't really know where this Naga is going, and I don't think we will know for a little bit here, but we do know Secret does have a Storm Spirit, so.
I feel like picking a Naga super early is more. It reveals more to me, and it signifies more to me that it's going to be a support.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you pick Naga straight off out of the gates like, "Hello, I'm Naga. I'm going to be carrying this game." And
yeah, I agree with you.
Not to say that you can't, but I just feel like it's more likely that it's going to be a support.
10 seconds.
Because when you pick it early, it gives the other team to think of ways
5
to
seconds remaining.
deal with the split push, ways to shut them down early. But when it's a support, it doesn't really matter because you're not really going to shut down to support Naga Siren early.
No.
So.
I will say we did see the support Naga the other day for Mouse Sports. It was actually Fly who stood in from Complexity playing the support Naga. Did pretty well. They still lost that game in the end. He didn't transition into a core, maybe, which would have been a game-winning idea, but he didn't really have time to do that either. So support Naga is something we're not too unfamiliar with, and I actually can't remember the build he went for, but there's definitely some good items you can grab as this hero. But the Storm Spirit pickup from Team Secret, which is, I wouldn't say unusual for them, but it's not something I see all the time for Secret. The thing about Secret is they have such a wide hero pool. They do pick it up occasionally. They played it against eHome, and they also played it against Empire. So it's not unheard of to pick up the Storm Spirit, but like I was saying, they just have such a wide hero pool that Storm Spirit definitely makes sense in this situation, but they will have to deal with Alita now, Laguna Blade, Naga Siren, and Snare. Chen comes out from Secret, so you look at some of these heroes, and well, Chen for puppies, a no-brainer, I guess. And a fourth pick Chen at that, it's pretty nice to have.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though. Like Team Secret, I feel like this is like what they're very, very comfortable with. EG has a lot of heroes that have just tons of good spells, like good spells on everybody, and they want to fight with. Like Naga Siren's got a huge arsenal. Tusk has a huge arsenal. And they're all spells that have a relatively low cooldown, with the exception of Song of the Siren.
Yeah, they're very spammable. That's a very good point. And even Laguna, I guess, kind of is pretty long cooldown too. But
well, it's pretty low actually for such a huge nuke like that. True. It's only 70 seconds in level 1. Mm-hmm. Pretty amazing actually. So, but I mean that's not even her main spell. Her main spell is the amazing Light Strike Array, which is a very, very good stun, AOE stun at that. So, we'll see if Evil Geniuses invade their jungle. I'm pretty sure they're going to, because their level 1 is significantly stronger right now. So there's no reason to not shut down Chen early on.
I mean, Chen does not want to get Tested Faith level 1. You want to be able to take that Creep Holy Persuasion and go from there. And we'll see if Evil Geniuses do decide to roam into the jungle. That's definitely a possibility. Evil Geniuses, they have a great lineup. Team Secret as well. They're a bit different. Bristleback, if he gets strong, he can easily take hold of this early game, especially with an IO at his back. We'll see if it is going to be Arteezy playing it, or if he's going to be playing the Storm Spirit instead. Winter Wyvern comes out from Evil Geniuses. I'm not the biggest fan of this hero, but in order to lock down, say, a Storm Spirit, I think Cold Embraces, or rather Winter's Curse, is one of the ways you can do that, and it'll help a lot.
It's thought of as one of the better heroes in the game against Wisp, just because you throw it on the Wisp, and not only do you stop him from doing anything, but his team kills him. So, what better way to do that onto a hero that wants to be next to his teammates? So it's thought of as a really, really strong counter to the Wisp, and I've seen it in play. I've played against it before, being on a Wisp team. At MLG, we ran the Wisp Tiny and they picked a Wyvern, and it was kind of miserable, honestly, once it got to the mid-late game.
That does not sound fun. Winter Wyvern is something I will say. The last time I did see the Winter Wyvern was in the game-deciding match between Narvi as well as Mouse Sports. And Mouse Sports picked it up, and it did not work out for them at all. And so Winter Wyvern is something I'm still kind of questioning. There was a couple of times we saw it picked up right around that WCA when the patch first dropped, and we're like, oh, Winter Wyvern, that should be a really good hero. And then he just never really got touched, other than a couple of games here and there. So I'm still skeptical about the Winter Wyvern, but for Team Secret is their last pick coming out. They already have the Chen IO support duo, Storm Spirit probably going mid. It is the Tiny coming out. Ooh. So not only have the Bristleback as well, they've got the Tiny. And you talked about it, Winter Wyvern against this kind of lineup here, and this could be pretty interesting for both squads, really. But we'll see if Arteezy, as well as I imagine Kuro, if they can carry this game. with a tiny IO combo.
I have never seen PBD play this hero.
The Wyvern?
Yeah, I've never seen him. I know that I'm not quite sure he has a background of playing it from like the old Dota 1 days because I know he played
This
Han.
is the new hero though. Remember, Winter Wyvern just came out only a year or two ago.
So it wasn't ever introduced in Dota 1?
Not well. I mean, Dota 2 was already out when Wyvern was added to Dota 1.
Okay.
He was either playing Han or playing Dota 2 at the time.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
10 seconds
It's fuzzy to me because there's a list of heroes that came out after when a
5
lot of people
seconds
quit Dota
remaining.
1 that didn't play ever those heroes. I didn't know if Winter Wyvern was like one of those that came out right afterwards, but
Yeah, it was him and Arc Warden or Zet or whatever his name is. Those were the
No
two heroes
idea.
that came out.
no idea.
Prepare
So this
for
is
battle.
PBD's at least first official Wyvern game. I can't say it's got to be the most difficult hero to play, but
No.
I have seen a huge variance in terms of how teams or how players level up this hero, like what they skill first. I've seen people just say that you need to max the Arctic Burn. It seems to be the strongest to max out Splinter Blast.
Yeah.
It seems like an amazing nuke, but
That,
we'll
that
see.
or Arctic Burn. Those two, obviously. Maxing Cold Embrace is only you just get an extra percentage, which is not bad. But I've seen a lot of Splinter Blast maxing. I've seen a lot of Arctic Burn maxing. In both
5-man
instances.
snowball incoming.
Yeah, they're going to snowball here. They need to get on design. They're going to find him. They're going to get 3, 4, all 5, I believe. And Zai is in trouble. LSA and Zai is definitely going to fall. Maybe not. The Avalanche comes out. No, he'll go down to Fear. And his right click coming
30
through.
seconds to
That
battle.
was a 5-man snowball. That was a party. They just ran right in and say, hey, what's up? Let me drink your booze. And they got the easy kill on Zai. They might even get S4.
And
He's
S4
going
is
to
just
walk
walking up.
And they're just going to Riptide him now as well. They don't have the Arctic Burn. There's the Tether coming through. They don't have Overcharge yet. S4 will take a lot of damage. He does have a salve, luckily, but that could have been a lot worse for him, too.
Really strange they just kind of walked up right there. They have this ward, so maybe they're like, I guess that doesn't give vision of this little spot right here. And they're
The
even gonna,
battle
are they gonna counter that?
begins.
Do they have a sentry? Oh no, they already used 2 sentries.
Money to burn.
Okay, one of their sentries got countered by the sentry from Secret, so that's good. At least they have that camp to work with.
Right.
This one's blocked, and their main
That's
pull
it.
camp is blocked. And
Oh, yeah,
that's it.
I didn't see the sentry over there, but still, that's not bad. Puppy could do work with this. He's going to be blocking the creeps for the time being. He won't get the medium camp. He'll have the hard camp, which is fine. Because he could just actually just Holy Persuasion and go from there.
Naga's just gonna block this herself manually. Oh, she got a little bit scared. She got cold feet.
Go back in. AY, turn around. Nah. It's too late at that point. And, he'll head back towards the lane. And it's going to be a dual lane coming up from Universe as well as AUI. And then a dual lane mid with Sumail so far with PPD. So Sumail is going to be the farming Lena here. He did go for that LSA level 1, so it doesn't have the Dragon Slave to maybe harass and zone out people with. But still, the top lane is going to be very interesting with Fear versus the Bristleback, which is what we talked about at the beginning of the game already. Bottom lane, they're going at S4. Do they have any other way to kill him? They don't. They only have Riptide, no ensnare yet for AUI 2000, so...
This is a really hard lane for Storm. I don't know how he's going to get very much. They have no pull to work with. He can't even pull for himself if he wanted to. And he's getting zoned out by just a Naga. So it's going to be free farming Tusk, which is actually can do a lot with free farm. Top lane, you have a Bristleback against a Razor. We already talked about how this is a great counter to him. So he's getting nothing. Bottom's getting nothing. Mid's going to be a wash because it's dual lane versus dual lane. At the very best, they're at least farming this Chen. Oh, here comes a snowball onto S4 and he's dead.
I actually didn't see it. Ice Sharks came through. They get an easy kill coming in. Here comes Puppy. He's got his ensnare. They don't have mana. Universe is kind of low. Puppy can't do enough damage. He's only level 1 with no test of faith. He did just get level 2. He didn't level it up though. And so he'll S4, like you mentioned, this is a very tough lane. He's even taking a lot of damage from these creeps. He will get at least some experience in gold because the wave is under his tower now. That's great. Good stuff there for S4 getting back into it. Mid lane is something I want to keep my eye on because who knows what the hell is going to happen here. Honestly, RTZ has 10 last hits. He's doing pretty well. Oh, bottom rune spot. Naga getting caught. They do get the regen rune, but he doesn't actually get any use out of it. Now Puppy getting chased down. Arctic Burn already going. Look at that slow coming out as well. The body block coming in. There's the snowball. Easy kill for Universe as well. Nicely played.
Oh, this is just a really hard early game to fight into these heroes of EG. I'm surprised that Arteezy is actually doing really well in mid as far as, I mean, yes, it's a dual lane mid, but this is also against a, oh, hold that thought. This is Caster Curse coming into play as he might actually die. Oh,
Ooh,
the
that Splinter
nuke
Blast
actually.
didn't hit.
Yeah.
PPD's like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I was gonna say he's doing well for now. Sumail's gonna level up. He'll have like level 3 Dragon Slave. You know, get Laguna Blade. And, that's not gonna be super easy. And I think Crow will stay around and obviously help him out there with the bottle. Zai top lane's gonna take 70 damage loss from static linking. He really has only got 2 last hits. Fury is sitting right now at 12. So top lane's going fantastically. Bottom lane is going fantastically, and they're even gonna find S4 again with the ensnare. Snowball comes out. They don't have the Riptide. They don't need it. Universe will get another kill. He is getting free farm. Not only getting last hits, but also now getting up 2 kills as well.
Yeah, and they're going to go on a
Radiant's
Sumail
bottom
mid.
tower
Nope,
is
it's a
under
stun. They didn't
attack.
feel confident in going towards it. But yeah, at least Tiny's getting farm. And I said surprisingly because this is a pretty potent mid lane. Like,
Yes.
Lina dual lane plus another range is very, very
I
strong.
mean, we just saw it there,
Tiny.
honestly.
Yeah. This
Not-
game has to come down to just playing the games passively and letting Chen go as much farm as he can without dying. But Chen already died once, so that sucks.
Yeah.
Bottom has died twice. It seems a very strange game to set up these lanes. Oh, mid lane again. But
Good
nope,
cold
Sumail's
embrace from
fine.
PBD. Yeah, Sumail's gonna be fine. He'll have boots coming out as well as his bottle. He had the bottle crow. They couldn't get the runes at the 2-minute spot. EG's AUI 2000 is gonna be looking for that bottom rune. Top lane, RT's, or top rune spot rather, RT's and Crow are gonna secure the top rune for themselves. We'll see what it is. Not that it's gonna matter. Crow's gonna have it. It's an invis. Yeah, there are better things. There are worse things. I will say that S4 is getting some more now. He's getting more out of this lane. He's 14 last hits, 6 denies. Not doing too poorly, even with, you know, dying twice. But as I say that, he's gonna get ice sharded. He'll be okay. There is actually no AUI 2000 to help him here this time, so it could be a lot worse for S4. He could be, you know, dying twice and not getting any farm at all, but that's not
That's
the
true.
case.
Yeah, he is actually getting some good CS, which is great. And once he hits 6, then he's totally... Well, I can't even say totally fine because Tusk can kind of blow him up, I think. He has to be careful. If he's at full HP, I imagine he'll be fine, but
He's actually leading in CS in comparison to Universe. He's beating him, so
that's
in that
good.
regard.
Yeah. Top lane, Zai taking a ton of harass. It's
112.
112 damage stolen. Fear throws out the nuke. It's only level 2 nuke, but it still did so much damage. It's because Zai is only level 2!
Radiant's top
Zai
tower is
luckily did
under
it himself.
attack.
Yeah, that is a problem. That's not great. Level 2 versus level 5. That's how you know a lane's going poorly. Zai could catch up. Maybe he gets, you know, a couple of stacks in the Ancients or in the jungle.
Well, he's got none right now to work with, because the jungle's occupied by Chen, who needs it, and nobody's there available to stack. I'm surprised maybe Kuro didn't stack Ancients. Maybe he was stacking this camp for someone. I wasn't really paying attention, but I think those Ancients definitely need to get stacked, otherwise Bristol's going to get nothing this game.
I think the jungle 2 is going to be hotly contested by all the secret members. Like, Tiny and Io want to do the stacks together. You have Chen, obviously, and even Storm with Remnant. Not to mention the Bristleback, which we already talked about. So everybody wants to be in that jungle for secret.
God, that nuke, that toss from Arteezy hit both of them in mid and did actually a ton of damage. Level 3 toss.
Mel's sitting pretty low, about half health right now. He does have 6 wand charges to buy a Belt of Strength. So he's going to be grabbing treads, it looks like. Interestingly enough, I think that was his. It is. So that's not something you see every day, but all right.
Both members have an uphill ward mid, so it's really important to have that against Wisp because you want to make sure you don't you have the full vision of like Tiny trying to jump up onto you. So they have that. Wisp, they also have that, so they can have the opportunity to do so. So both wards are going to kind of counteract each other.
This
Storm
could
is
be
so close to level 6. The Ice Shards went a little bit further, so he wasn't going to get blocked.
This could be a huge engagement coming from Secret.
One
The smoke
creep and he'll
wrap
have
right
6.
behind
Yep, one creep.
is going to be problematic. Universe is going to see Puppy, they're going to see Crow as well. There's the ball lighting in. Snowball comes through. They're going to try to get away the ensnare on the S4, but it doesn't matter. They get the test to fade out. They get the kill as well. S4 gets the double. Sumail does not have 6. He does, but he didn't have the Laguna Blade. Doesn't have the
He has a
mana
regen on
blade either. And now there's a regen coming through for the IO. Sumail gets the LSA off, but he's going to fall under the tower. S4 goes ahead, jumps all the way underneath, gets the kill, and they turn the game right around. Secret now with
Radiant's
3
middle
quick
tower
kills.
is
They
under
did lose the
attack.
Chen, but doesn't really matter in the end, as that's huge for S4 getting back into it.
What a huge rune to have for your Wisp, too. Like, what better opportunity than a Storm Spirit for your team that just hit level 6. So, really utilizing that rune to its full potential. Arteezy taking some slow damage. Ice Shards is... Oh, it's going to be off the mark. Pretty close, but he does live. How's poor old Zai doing up top lane? He's only level 4 compared to a Fear that's level almost 7. This lane is such a disaster, but all things considered, they're actually doing quite well in the other lanes. It was going to be really, really bad bottom, but after that huge engagement, I think S4 is going to have a much better game than he did last game.
I can't go anywhere, man. Like, again, you talked about the Ancients. There's no way for him to... I mean, there's no stacks there. The jungle's occupado.
He should just stack them himself. I know he wants to just sit at this tower whenever the wave's coming in, but I feel like he's going to benefit a lot more by getting these Ancients stacked than getting maybe a little bit of experience here and there. He's now level 5, which is great. Now he has, I think, a sufficient amount of damage from his cool sprays to do his stack, so maybe he thinks about going to do that.
Universe was going to get chased down there by RTZ. He was getting attacked by some of the creeps, but that was just to make sure he didn't go for that bounty down in the bottom lane, or bottom rune spot. So, it's great for Fear up in the top lane. Mid lane was a wash, but then Sumail TP'd bottom and died, and RTZ was getting free farm throughout that entire time. And bottom lane was fantastic for Evil Geniuses up until S4 got his level 6, and they got a couple of kills, and now he's getting a lot of room to farm. 35 last hits. He's doing pretty well for himself now with treads. No bottle that I can see. He is bringing it out now, I believe. And that's great. I like the plays Secret were making. They smoked up. We saw a lot of that from Evil Geniuses last game. But now there's the ensnare top. There's also going to be a static loop as well.
TP rotation.
And I think side. Hand of God's going to come out. They do get me relocated. Fear is getting low. They're going to go on TP in. They will find this tail. TP coming out. Fear is low. It looks like he will stay alive and TP away. Safety, just barely though, and it is going to be a 1-for-1 support for your off-laner. Could have been a lot worse coming through for EG and for Secret, of course.
I don't think Secret got enough out of the rotation, unfortunately. They wanted to get a lot more, but they only got the Winter Wyvern. They had to kind of shift their attention to him because he had the Cold Embrace on him, and the only way to kill that is just through natural damage. And then Razor's pretty damn fast, even just with 1 point that unstable current runs to the side. Gets a TP out, so I'm sure they wanted to get a lot more out of that, and I think that's a fine exchange for EG because they did bait out the relocate, and it was ended up being a support or not.
Yeah, and they're gonna head bottom in again, just try to shut Zai down. And I mean, I think at this point they'd rather have S4, but it's harder to lock him down than it is. But they can burst him down, like you mentioned, with Walrus Punch, and there's a lot of damage. Fear is very close to his mech. He has the buckler pretty much. Actually, I'll say he's not. Okay, he's not as close as I thought he was. Didn't even have the buckler yet, so. He's still a couple hundred gold away from getting that mech early on here, but that will still be a pretty good timing for it. They're going to try to chase down Zai. There's no Radiant Vision that I can see. They're still smoked up anyways. There's a double damage bottom rune spot for whoever wants it. The Blueberry rune. RTZ's going to work on tier 1 mid, though.
Really good rune for Tusk.
Bottom tower
You can do so much damage with this, and they're going to put up a ward. One of the few smoke ganks from EG that we've seen fail. I mean, they're usually just always connected with these smoke ganks, but Secret sniffed it out well or something, or just dodged a bullet, but either way, not going to make anything happen with that smoke. S4 is up top. I think it's smart to put him up top and because he's a little bit more difficult to kill. That being said, Sumail actually TP's in. If they do find a combo, they can maybe get a kill onto him. I don't know. If Storm is on Strength Treads, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to be able to bring it.
He needs to be, oh god, he needs to be on Strength Treads, I think.
You hit a blind LSA here, and they will. Laguna Blade comes out the last couple of right clicks, and he's going to try to make it away. Long range, but he does just join that last projectile. Meanwhile, they're going to find Fear. Here, the Ancient stack. He doesn't have his mech up. Look at his Centaur Conqueror stomp come through the Hellburst smash and throws up the Thunderclap, but here comes Universe. Walrus Punch. Not enough to get the kill. Toss onto Universe. These bottle charges if necessary. Sigil coming through. Ice Shard.
Oh, he misses!
Not connecting. Universe misses. Needs one more right click, but there's the Avalanche. They keep up the IO. He stays alive. He's sweating right now for sure. PPD won't be able to find the kill. TP's coming away. They lose 2 heroes in that engagement, and suddenly it's tied up 6-6. Game looks a lot closer.
All right, what a juke there from Kuroki. I don't know. Can we call it a juke or was it just a blunder? I don't know. Either way, here comes Relocate onto Aoi. He has no song yet. He's only level 5.5. And they get a very, very easy pickoff. Really nice rotation, abusing the fact that he's not level 6 yet. Zai taking a lot of damage. He's in trouble, but here comes the heal from Chen.
Fear does not want to go. The relocate out. Arteezy's alone, but the Chen is here as well. And there's the ensnare. Centaur Conqueror stop. A couple of Hellburst smash with Thunderclaps. And Fear's like, I'm at half health. What's happening right now? The Chen army is destroying me. Chen will head back just to make sure he can recall his creeps, and he won't do it yet.
Oh, yes, and Arteezy went for the blink on Tiny. He goes back in on PPD, gets the kill. Nice combo from Arteezy. PPD just wasn't expecting it. He's going to know for sure that they have a ward. It gets pinged out. And they get a last hit here for Puppy. So really nice plays here coming out from Secret. The same exact rotation coming in now from Sumail again. If he had a little bit of help from Owie last time he initiated, it was a for sure kill on S4. This time it's going to be the snowball, and this will be a kill.
Yeah, that's huge. They need that S4. He's kind of, snowballing a little bit. Get it. But now they do get the kill. Meanwhile, Zai does pick up that tier 1 tower mid, and he's starting to get a little bit more out of this. His net worth is 3rd to last here. He's only above the Naga. Top lane, Arteezy does bring down Sumail with that blink dagger coming in, getting his combo off Sumail, caught out of position, and there's just kills happening everywhere. There's dead bodies all over the goddamn ground, and it's hard to keep track of. But so far, it is 9-7. It's Secret actually coming back pretty strong. They have a 3,000 net worth lead now, 2,000 experience lead. Arteezy, he's the one doing, I think, a lot of the work in this situation. He's even wrapping around. He's going all the way under the tower. AUI's like, I don't have 6 yet, please. Avalanche toss comes in. He does have a salve. He's got a stick as well. Song comes out. Yeah, relocate could come through here. They might be able to stop it maybe with a Winter's Curse.
Oh yeah, they're level 6 on Wyvern.
Winter's Curse will come in, but Arteezy does get away with the blink dagger, so Kuroko will fall, but they didn't keep Arteezy there to get that secondary kill, so that was a little bit lucky for Secret, or just really well played from Arteezy, rather.
Yeah, very, very fast blink rotation backwards, so it could have been way worse. Dodged a bullet, so to speak. But I'm such a huge fan of the blink on Tiny. I know there's different schools of thought on this. Sometimes it's very glaringly obvious that you should just rush the Ags. But I don't know. I just think the combo does so much damage. I think it's still relevant in late game too, because you can always toss someone back into your team, similar to like a Magnus Skewer. And just the fact that they buffed it so it makes it much easier to hone in onto that single target. It's now the closest unit rather than a random unit. Snowball into mid.
There's the Warlord's Push, not doing that much damage. Here comes the Arctic Burn though, and Dai is pretty fast with his Warpath. 3 stacks, they relocate him out. Here comes Arteezy. He's alone, however, but Fear takes a heck of amount of damage from that. He'll actually have to mech up and stay alive, so. As far as the Blink Dagger on Tiny is concerned, he's gotten so many kills with it. Like, they might just be winning this game because of this Blink Dagger purchase. It's 4-0-2. You could argue that there's some other plays like that smoke down to bottom that helped out S4, but they're definitely in a commanding position. Although Arteezy, right now is the only really farmed hero. S4 is getting there. He only has the 1 Oblivion Staff for now.
Yep, and I think, is he going to go for the, oh, he's going to go just for the Ag, so this is just a casual bracer here for Arteezy. And there is the 15-minute Yules, so that's 7 minutes later than he got it last game. Just to put in perspective how fast it was.
A bit late, yeah, a bit late from Sumail, but
I mean, it's still great timing. It's still fine, because he has the treads too. It's just, he got it. This just shows how friggin' fast it was last game.
Yeah. AY down bottom. Arcanes just purchased them up, so AY hasn't had the best game. Him and PPD are very, very poor, and I think that might be a big issue for them. Vision's going to be kind of lacking, I think, for the most part, or just that second set of items that you want as support to maybe make you a bit more impactful as the game progresses, but it's going to be a long way. They need to try to take some sort of fight. Universe is, I think, saving it for Blink Dagger. Fear already has his mech, but he really hasn't done... Like, he had a great start, and this mech has not really done much for them. There's Puppy and Kuroki top. They might want to go for this tier 1 tower. It is very low. Arteezy is also up here ready to go with the Blink and the point booster. Tough to bring him down, and... This is going to be him getting jumped on. They probably have a relocate, but Warren's Punch comes out, and Curl was not in position.
That was really strange. I don't know what he was thinking there. He kind of just walked up and, like, I don't know. I thought maybe he thought that the tower was, like, 1 toss away from being dead, but I don't know. That was strange.
Curl was there, but he was at the tower. It was interesting. I thought he was right next to Arteezy, but that wasn't the case. There was no relocate out, so a huge kill that provides Universe pretty much his Blink Dagger. Fear gets a bit of gold as well. He's going drunk. And all right, where do we go from here? 16.5 minutes into the game. S4 is farming very well, and I think they have to maybe prioritize killing him a couple of times, but easier said than done.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And he is going for the Orchid.
Oh, they smoked on this ward. They saw this.
And it looks like S4, he wanted to break it, and he did. Nicely played from him. PPD solo smoke isn't really going to get much done. He's kind of seen some creeps right now, but...
The creeps are baiting. And Sumail realizes this might not be the best idea. Regardless if it's the best idea, Zai's gonna walk up. There's
They have a relocate.
He can use him. They do throw up the cold embrace, the winner's curse rather than S4. Laguna Blade, did he dodge that? The song comes out.
Radiant's top
I don't think he can take this fight. Sumail is trying to reach in up. His LSA is about to come out, I imagine. And it doesn't connect. It's a bit too early on S4. S4 snowball. They get the kill with the ice shards. Walrus punching a puppy on the other side of the fray. PPD cold embrace up. Zai chasing after AUI. AUI is going to fall on the other side of things. PPD, rather, Puppy gets caught out and killed. And Universe will clear up his troop army, but here comes Zai. Back out of PVD, but Fear's here as well. Statically gonna go. Good cold embrace. All that physical damage negated. Zai cannot finish off the kill. Snowball towards another hero. It's gonna be Arteezy. Not gonna connect, but the ice shards will. 3-for-1 exchange. And EG bring it right back with that beautiful fight.
Yeah, Arteezy also missed his stun there at the beginning. He tried to combo onto the Wyvern, but he missed his stun, and then after he tossed down, the Wyvern came down with very low HP, but just able to use the Cold Embrace, which he's actually gone for a smorgasbord kind of build here. He's gone 3-2-2.
Oh, God.
I wasn't even trying to lead into that. I was like 3-2. Oh, I see where this is going.
No, I saw that too. I was like, I know this is coming.
But it healed him nicely, and it's also, now that I think about it, a great counter to Bristle, because all of Bristle's damage is all physical.
Yep.
So that Cold Embrace kind of owns it.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. And Zai's already having a rough game as it is. I want to remind everybody that this is game 2. The Secret already down 1-0. They need to win this game to force game 3. If you win this series, you are guaranteed 40,000 USD, $40,000. That's something else. So it's not like this. And if you, of course, if you go down to the into the losers bracket and you lose that series, you don't get any money. You have to win one series to get to the money. So lots at stake here. And Evil Geniuses are currently staying alive, I'd say. They're not leading. Secret have a small lead, and they also have a very good lineup in the late game. But Evil Geniuses are doing okay for themselves here. But S4 looks to get this Orchid up and then do some work here.
Also, while there's not really like a for sure counter combo with the Naga Siren Sleep, as a support, and this was much more prevalent when we saw Naga Siren played as a support a long time ago, much more frequently, but it's just so good against the Wisp relocate. There's really nothing you can do about it. You relocate in song, it's very easy, cut and dry when to use it, and that's just what they did. And what it does also, it wastes a lot of Wisp's time, because then he has like only 5 seconds left to actually aid his ally in the fight before he has to go back or bring himself back.
And then you start panicking, and you're just like, what do I do? So it's it was definitely a rough situation. EG smoked again right on top of a ward, so they have a pretty good idea as to where Sumail and PPD are. Sumail's even going to get ensnared by a Dark Soul Summoner casually. The tier 1 tower is not in deny range. 5 versus 5 mid right now. The good old, you know, this is a pub game, let's go 5-man mid and just sit there for a while. Instead, EG will end up backing up and starting to farm. But now, Secret are going to be aggressive. They have a smoke, and Universe is going to pop it. He needs to be careful. They're going to jump right in. Sumail in trouble. He'll go down. The snowball is going to come in, and S4 might get Walrus punched here, but he's got mana to work with. The pull's going to come out. Song of the Siren. Reset the fight. Sumail buys back. TP's in. LSA is going to get ready here in just a second. PPD, he's got that cold, rather, Witcher's Curse. Got to keep that right. S4 gets blown up. They even use the cold embrace there. Poppy gets Laguna bladed. The only one alive after that bloodbath is Arteezy. That took 5 seconds to get started, even less than that, and all of a sudden it's over. EG just burst everybody down except for the Tiny, but here comes Spear. Nice avalanche from Arteezy. He thought about turning around, but he's already lost 100 damage or so. Fear is just chasing him. Ice shards are going to connect coming out from Universe. There's Kitty with the snowball as well. That'll be another kill. All 5 dead again. And Evil Geniuses getting back into it, man.
That was again a mistake by Arteezy. What he did was, and you could tell what his thinking process. He's done the Razor, and he's like, all right, I'm going to toss you back, but wait, the toss back is going to purge me, and so I'm actually going to be slower and take damage I can't blink. If he just stunned and then ran away and blinked, he would have been fine, but he second-guessed himself. He was like thinking about one thing and then changed his mind in the middle of it, and as a result, he died because he just was too slow, and then they were able to catch him with auto attacks and disable his blink constantly. Also, while the song was coming out, like 224 damage stolen from the Bristleback, I think, from Fear. And then Fear found the Wisp. He saw the Wisp was trying to relocate someone out, and he hit him 3 times and killed him, like in a matter of 1.5 seconds. It was insane the amount of damage that this Razor does when he steals 224 damage.
Yeah, that's... Fear has been putting in some work this game. S4 got blown up, and he's got a lot more problems than just getting, you know, an early Orchid. He might even... I mean, even a BKB, Cold Embrace... God, Winter's Curse will still go through that. I've called it Cold Embrace like 6 times. really a problem. But yeah, maybe BKB. Obviously, Bloodstone would be really nice to have on a Storm of Spirit. So he's got some time before he gets up and gets into that fighting shape for S4. But we'll see if we can get there.
Yeah, things are looking good for EG. That being said, I'm looking at the net worth, and it's still not crazy.
No,
Still
that fight
relatively
did not
even.
give them that much. Though a lot of that is maybe due to, I don't know, it's not due to towers. They have pretty much the same towers except for the tier 1 bottom.
It's mostly due to the
Radiant's
fact that
bottom
EG's just
tower
really
is
not
under attack.
farming. Like, they're winning the fights, and they have stronger heroes in the team fights right now.
Structures are
But they're not,
fortified.
other than the Razor, they're not actually, like, farming that much, I would say.
Radiant's bottom
I
tower
don't know, actually,
has
I'm looking at the
fallen.
CS. Their CS is actually
Dire's middle
pretty
tower
much
is
even
under
with
attack.
both the Tiny and the
It's
Storm.
the supports, I think.
Yeah, it
PD
must
and
be.
AUI are very, very poor. Although AUI has a drum now, but they already have one, I believe. Yeah, they do.
Dire's
PD
middle
has
tower
a
is
cloak,
under
so he
attack.
wants to get that Glimmer Cape, which you see very often on Winter Wyvern. In fact, I think it's almost core. So yeah, the supports are very poor. You know, Puppy doesn't have that issue. He's a Chen, so he can farm very well. And the IO, he's not doing too much better. In fact, he's right behind AUI and only ahead of PPD by a little bit.
Bottom. They're gonna ult, I think, Arteezy and go for him.
Nature's Curse. There it goes. And the static link, this should be a free kill. No Hiroki there to relocate him out. Toss does do some damage. They even smoked down there with a couple other heroes with EG, but I just had to Rosh now and try to
Jeez.
take this.
That damage is so insane from Razor right now. And Razor almost has a Shivas. He has a Shivas and 100 gold. So they're gonna have Shivas on Fear. He's gonna hit
Dire's
16.
middle
He's gonna have an
tower is under
Aegis.
attack.
Oh man, this is looking really good for EG right now.
They do the right thing though. The lanes were not pushed out, and they're going to try to take these tier 2 towers. Mid tower is going to be taken by S4. This
Dire's
puts
middle
pressure
tower
on.
is
Top
under
tower is not
attack.
going to be taken by Zai. They're going to back away. So they might be able to get this tier 2. They should flip this. In fact, actually, S4 is just going to back away.
Roshan has fallen to the dire.
And that'll be an Aegis for Universe,
Dire's
interestingly
top
enough.
tower is
Out of
under
all the
attack.
heroes, I guess that makes sense. Would've thought
Or
Sumail.
Universe. Okay, interesting.
I would have thought Sumail, honestly, but... Oh well. As you mentioned, Razor's AC, or not AC, rather, Shiva's guard is done. He's gonna get the plate mail from the side shop, the secret shop rather. And at that point, it's just even more to deal with if you're secret. Fear is the most farmed of the game. He's 12,000 net worth. Alright. So we've kind of hit a lull. Both teams back to farming.
Yep. I think Fear's Razor has just been on point this game. Just doing so much damage. And I like the item choices too. Like, Mech is usually a little weird on him now because of the constant nerfs, but I mean, he's able to farm so fast as Shivas. Now he has no mana problems at all. And he went drums too, so. And Shivas is obviously great against Bristle because, like I said, Bristle's all physical damage. And I missed that one, but...
He didn't miss much. It was a Chen dying within seconds. However, S4 in a bit of an interesting spot, but he'll probably be fine. They have no real knowledge of him being here, so they're drawing a line. They want to head top. Fear gonna get chased down by Arteezy. He actually knows this. He's gonna pop the drum charge just so he can get away faster. Bottom S4 still not scouted out.
They want to relocate, but Aui's here. They're just gonna get songed.
No,
Although
they
he
can go for
could
full on him.
go on Aoi.
Or if he comes out, Song needs to
That's-
go, and it will. But they do get the kill immediately on his Sumail, and he's dead for 70. More TP's coming in. I don't know if you want to... I guess it is going to be about 4 versus 3. They're going to get the cold embrace off. It is going to go on a Croaky, and Arteezy pleads. It's blocked. It's popping off. Now there's going to be the Walrus punch on Arteezy. Static Link coming in, and Fear again doing so much work. The Shiva's guard kiting him, and they take down 2. They do get the TP out from S4, so at least he does survive. Does turn into a 2-for-1 trade, though. That's the biggest issue.
Dire's
Now
top
TP
tower
top, Universe
is under
going on to
attack.
Zai. Actually blinks away, not going on him, trying to escape him.
I'm not sure I really think that was the play. I think it would have been smarter to ball in, use the Orchid onto Aoi,
Yes.
so he can't song, and then pull the Lina.
Yes.
And I think that would have bought enough time to bring them in and still kill both of them without
Yes.
sleeping everybody.
I will say they were very close together, and it might have been a misclick. It's always
Radiant's
a
bottom
possibility with the
tower
Orchid,
is
but
under attack.
Possibly. That could have been it as well.
I'm not going
But-
to get too deep into this. So.
That being said, he did kill him really fast, but
Yes.
that means the relocate just baited them into their death because they didn't stop the song from coming out.
Yeah. Arteezy and Crow got there, and they're just like, oh, what do we do now? I guess we're dead. Not much else they could do in that situation. Arteezy does finish up his Aghanim Scepter. His farm was really good early on, but it's been stifled. I mean, 4 deaths will do that to you.
Radiant's bottom tower
It's
is
not
under
been
attack.
the best. S4 has kind of leapfrogged him in terms of farm and where he's at. And S4 is, in fact, going for the BKB, which is fantastic. Although, if he gets Cold Embrace, he's going to probably die either way. He might just need, you know, BKB Lincoln Sphere. You don't want to have to go super defensive on a Storm Spirit, but this might be the game for it. I don't know what your thoughts on it are.
I'm sorry.
Storm?
Lincoln Sphere Storm?
After BKB, I mean.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's totally fine. The Winter's Curse is going to, or was that what it's called? Yeah, Winter's Curse is going to
Dire's
destroy
top
him, if
tower
not the
is
Yule's
under
combo.
attack.
So, yeah,
That's
I think
what
that's
was
fine.
saying. That's what I was saying.
I'm
So-
still surprised actually, especially surprised that Zai's farm is, he's like pretty much
He's
tied for
rebounding.
second net worth. That's really impressive, considering his horrible start. He's got now Heaven's Halberd, which is, it's kind of weird because it's like you don't want to use it on the Razor because then you're gonna get purged, but you kind of have to because he's hitting for 350 damage. I think it's more of just the ability to do that, but plus it's a really good cost-effective item. Like it gives you tons of strength, pretty damn good damage, good overall evasion. He's actually half HP, and they're not smoked, but they're above him.
And they don't have vision of him, but he's staying kind of far back. But now they're going to wrap in, and AUI is going to look right with an ensnare. He almost gets away. He just comes out.
Middle tower is
Smell
under
also is
attack.
going to connect. That's going to be always punching just a dead Zai.
Dire's bottom
Alright.
tower is under attack.
How much is that?
First
Blink?
recorded Blink Desco Tusk. Huh,
He's having a
okay.
pretty good game. Universe has set up a lot of kills.
Radiant's middle
Initiation.
tower is under
Tier 2
attack.
towers, both mid and top lane, are getting assaulted. Mid lane will fall. Top lane still could be
Radiant's middle
defended.
tower
Here's
has
here
fallen.
alone. Speaking of alone,
Sleeping.
AUI, there's
Radiant's
TP's
top
coming in. They
tower
want to
is
kill
under attack.
Arteezy. PPD not here yet. Smell getting ready with the LSA, but he mistimes it. Here comes the Orchid coming up from S4. Relocate away from Kuro. Universe, now the TP coming in. They need a snowball. They can't quite find it. He is going to make it out. That could have been a lot worse. In fact, they get everybody away, and they force out a lot of TP rotations, and that means that the tier 2 tower
Radiant's
top lane
top tower
will
is
survive.
under attack.
Oh, the Wisp is dead though.
Except for-
Oh, he even had a haste rune, I think.
Feed
But they
the
still managed to just do
flames.
so much damage with the Laguna, which is level 16 now with Ag, so really scary Samael.
That's frightening, to say the least. Somebody just bought an item. What was it? Oh, BKB for S4, I believe.
Also,
He's got
Vlad's
that
on
going.
Bristleback.
Look at items coming out for Secret. Solar Crest not coming in. AY jump on. Sumail's gonna get bounced up. Now the static link going through as well. Sumail in trouble. Not dead yet. Jules is himself, but Mech already came through. Zai actually gonna chase him down, but the LSA gonna go through. Just back. Here's the Walrus punch. Turning back. Hand of God's gonna go, but Zai gets blown up. Or will be getting blown up. He does do a lot of damage with those close sprays, and Fear has to back up. Meanwhile, top lane getting chunked down by the tree. They're gonna turn it for EG. They want the sigil. They've got it on Puppy. He's gonna get stared up. He's going, please God, no. Fear will pick up the Wicked 6 streak in the process of doing so. And EG, they'll take 2. They're gonna head towards the tier 3 tower.
Dire's top tower
But it looks
has
as
fallen.
if they might just back off. In fact, Suno's gonna get jumped out again. Great Yules. The BKB is down for S4, but there's nobody there to catch him out. He's gonna ball lightning and TP away.
Dire's
So he'll make it
top
out again
tower
as
is under
Arteezy
attack.
goes straight for that tier 3 tower top.
Putting some okay damage onto it. Wasn't there in the last fight, so did a good amount of damage. Good amount of structural damage at that. We'll see. I mean, it's still crazy that it's not that far out of the grasp in terms of
Dire's
net
top
worth. Like, it's still
tower
only
is under
4,000.
attack.
Just seems like EG's never even coming close to losing a fight. I guess Sumail was kind of close to being dead right there, but
Yeah, good mech though from Fear.
yeah.
He also has his Aghanim Scepter now. All right, so but the thing is too, Ralph, I think Io Tiny together is going to be difficult to deal with in a little bit here, especially if you get into Sultras on the Tiny suddenly. If there are tier 3 towers available to take, Arteezy, get in there, keep the creep wave pushed out. And go through. He also just got a level 16, so level 3 grows up. Like you said, it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility for Secret. They're not in that bad of a spot. They just need to take 1 or 2 good team fights, or take some towers. Just fight.
I think they actually want to rat again, and I think that Artur's bottom
S4
or
can't
he
get
is
the
dead.
BKB off, and he gets blown up.
Yep, even if he did, that Laguna will still go through so much damage. But Arteezy went for a Mask of Madness, and I don't think you want to fight in a team fight with Mask of Madness, just because I think you're going to take so much damage. And the Winter's Curse is just so freaking good against the Wisp. Mid, Zai.
Golden Brace comes out. And Snare comes through. They're going to
gets
send
sent
him
back.
home. Is it going to be enough? He actually is going to make it away. Nice play. They're going to have to go back home. Look at the tier 3 tower. That's the problem, man. You give them even this much room to work with, and Arteezy is going to go to work.
They should focus on Fear right now. I think they can maybe make a play onto him.
They're going to try to go in with Zai. Viscous Days Lagoon. They're going to relocate as well, and Fear is in trouble. Statically will go through. He's got the mech. He's going to use it. He's going to TP away is the question. They have no way to lock him down anymore with the Avalanche toss done. It's still 84 damage. Here comes Sumailin, though. Laguna Blade. Relocate home from Kuroki. Nice play. Arteezy's left alone. Another Yule's coming out. They have LSA in a second. IOTB's back into the fray. Arteezy's actually just going to stand still, and looks like he'll be able to make it away. Universe is coming down bottom as well, but just a little bit of... I don't know. A couple of fights here and there. Zai's going to get Song top. Sumail's here as well with the LSA. Zai was just bottom. And boom. We're going to connect with the LSA, and this should be a kill. Yeah. He's dead.
Yeah, that Solar Crest is really awesome too. So much damage. Negative 10 armor, and then they can't hit anything. Pretty much 30% miss chance.
With Riptide on top of that.
Yeah, it's really, really strong.
Well, all right. They'll lose Zai.
You see what happens though. When you see what happens when Fear.
Mech's not available. Keep his guard. Oh, but the ball lighting from S4 will clean it up. That was...
You see that passive owning him when he tosses him. It's pretty insane. Here comes the snowball in. He can one-shot Kuroki, I think.
Very close to one-shotting him. Arctic Burn will kill him, I believe.
Miss?
Miss? Wow, those miss chances from the low ground. You gotta be kidding me. He ends up getting the kill in the end anyways.
Where's the party?
All right, man. Where do we go
This is
from here?
crazy. It's crazy that Secret are still within their grasp of 5,000 net worth. Blink actually on Winter Wyvern. I think they need to rat this out, but it's kind of like you have Chen who wants to kind of fight with his mech, and now he has Guardian Greaves and ulti. Bristleback obviously wants to fight, but the Razor pick is really good against him. I think the Razor pick, which normally is kind of stale and doesn't do much, is just doing so much this game.
Yeah. This is a pretty good draft so far for Evil Geniuses. Not to say Secret had a bad draft. It's just that this Ford kind of got crushed early on. His effectiveness hasn't been felt too much. He's 5-6-2. Arteezy fell off, I think, right after early to mid game. And Zai really had an awful time, but he's rebounded so well. But it's just right now it's not enough. So ratting is, like you mentioned, the name of the game. And with 4,000 gold, Arteezy could pick an Assault Cuirass, making it even easier to take down buildings. We'll see if he decides to go for that as his next item. Go for maybe a bit more damage. Something else. But Roche is up, and that seems to be the point of contention, at least for EG. They want to head into the Roche pit. Hey, Roche, what's up? Just killing and take your A just real quick. And the lanes are all pretty pushed out as well, so there's no big potential for getting ratted while this is happening.
Yeah, they got Sigil, Solar Crest, they got negative armor from Universe. And they also have this song, if anything got a little bit hairy, but nope, they're not even contested. They know they can't fight this, and the immediate smoke coming out from EG as well. Again, one of their strengths is they always seem to initiate fights after smokes extremely well. We'll see if Universe can find the opening he's looking for. I think he's got a BKB in base too, or something.
They're going to find Puppy, and he's going to get LSA here. And they're going to try to jump in with S4. He's going to BKB, and Snare's going to Cold Embrace. The song comes out. They're going to try to bring him down, and the Laguna Blade will do the job. They haven't even killed Puppy yet. They focused all their attention on poor S4, and he doesn't have buyback. He's down for 64 seconds. Luckily, the creep wave is mid, so they have some time to work with, and they're going to try to push out top with Zai and Arteezy, and maybe just force some TP rotations back. So Secret are in an awful position despite losing one critical hero, and Puppy going down as well.
Getting BKB to the song does nothing, then gets or what is it? Winter's Curse. So he still Oh, I don't remember. I screwed up all the time too, so like it's hard. But it kind of even worked against him having that BKB and then just got Laguna'd in the face. Really hard. It's just hard to kind of deal with all of these different interactions. There's really no, like, you have to have a ton of defensive items, like you mentioned the Lincoln Spirit, but he's just too far away from that.
Arteezy might just trade this. They baited a TP from Universe, then he stopped it, and there's no way, absolutely no way that AUI can take this fight alone. So they're TPing more back now. Io's in the backside, ready to relocate out. They have Winter's Curse in 30, so not quite there yet. The Arctic Burn slowing him down. They're going to hit the ensnare. Arteezy's going to get relocated back home. The Laguna Blade onto Zai. He will fall. And Universe is going to be waiting for Kuro. So
Radiant's middle
I-
barracks are
yeah.
under attack.
Fear is actually at the base, and he's in trouble. Toss comes out. He's orchid it as well. He's going to go down. Fear will fall here. It does take them a long time to get through him, but it is going to be 2 for 1 with Fear going down for 78 seconds. They do clean up the 2 and 3 top, but EG will take the mid melee racks.
Yeah, which is, I think, fine for them. Zai is, despite him being able to bounce back, it's impossible for him to do anything in these fights. He's just controlled too easily by, whether it's Razor or even just a simple ensnare, the slow from Winter Wyvern, I mean, there's just too many ways to control him. I think he definitely needs probably a BKB at this point, just so he can walk around in fights without having... God, even then you have ensnare to deal with, you have the Tusk Walrus Punch to deal with, it will still slow you down. You have Winter Wyvern's Winter's Curse. I don't know. It seems I feel really bad for Zai because I think he's done a great job coming back in terms of farm. Had one of the worst lanes you could ask for. It's just so hard for him to actually find his place in a team fight.
It's definitely been a struggle for him, and it will continue to be so, I think. They can maybe try to take one big fight. They still have Aegis for EG, and the good thing for Secret is I just love how they just keep this top lane pushed out, like, all the time. Been a really, really, really solid job from Secret, just making sure this lane is hotly contested. Brokey will throw up the spirits. They're actually going to jump on Arteezy. The Eul's going to come out. Good toss. He's going to overtake. Now there's going to be, I'll say, the relocate out comes from Kuro at the perfect time. They even expended Laguna there. And that means that Arteezy is going to finish up his assault cross. His eye is going to get chased down, though. And this is going to be the collateral damage, unfortunately. It's like, why do I have to die for Arteezy being caught out of position?
That's really smart, though. They're like, we don't care about the relocated Kuroki because he's kind of... Actually, you know what? To be honest, I feel like he's more important than Zai. Because he has abilities that can do stuff this game, whereas I don't think Zai's skill set on the hero can do much.
The Cold Embrace to deal with the physical damage, which we haven't even seen it that often, is something to give it the back of your mind.
So strong. Yeah, I didn't even touch on that.
It's really good, this game. And so, Zai is in Struggle City right now. Maybe getting another item to help him out in that regard. He already has the Halberd. I don't know what else to go. He definitely doesn't want to go damage to this game, which is, you know, I think the right idea. He's going for, right now at this point, pure utility with the Vlads as well as the Halberd pickup, and his next item will be even more indicative of that, more than likely. Winter Wyvern is a gem, by the way.
Arteezy does have very good farm. Like, he's bounced back nicely. He died so many different times after he went Blink, and it took him forever to get the Ags, and he had just Blink Ags at, like, I don't know, 29 minutes or something. I don't know. It was really slow. But he's got Mask of Madness. Now he has Assault Caress. The potential is there to take down the base if EG doesn't have TPs.
Yeah.
And they aren't ready for it. But there is always that song that you have to deal with, and Aoi's now level 16. That means that means 60 second cooldown on that. So that's going to be I think the biggest issue here for Secret.
He's getting jumped on. Io's not quite there yet. He should make it there in time, and he will. No, this song comes out. Kuro can't get the relocate off. It was actually stopped by the Song of the Siren, and Kuro's gonna fall as well. Oh, perfectly timed coming out from Evil Geniuses, and very unfortunate coming out for Arteezy. Before we go any further, I do want to touch on the fact that S4 did go for Lincoln Sphere, and we thought it was going to be good earlier on, but they don't have damage. I think that's the biggest issue.
Well, I definitely think this is the right decision.
Right.
For the item build, I think he has to get this, but it might just be too little too late. I actually think that Arteezy was going to die before the relocate even came out, despite the nice song from Aoi. That damage from the Laguna is so insane. It just does so much damage. Nice creep cutting by S4. If they were able to take this wave out somehow in the bottom lane, then they won't have a wave anymore. Here comes the bot up top. Zai's in trouble yet again. There is a Laguna. His back was turned, but he's still taking lots of damage.
Walrus Punch. The Eul's will come out though, and Zuchu, bottom lane is going to fall as they get that kill on the Zai in the top lane. The bot's in with Tusk, and they're going to just go for this. S4 is going to jump all the way in. Got out of mana. He pops the BKB coming through. Lincoln was popped. He's getting so low. Hand of God comes out. The Solar Crest did work. Fear's still going in. He's got, of course, Zai the Storm going to work as well. Kuro so close to death. Now the Song comes out as well. Fear's actually going to TP back home. They don't want to overextend this. Oh, the avalanche. Not there from Arteezy. Just a moment too late. And it actually is going to be Fear making it out. Tier 3 tower does stay alive, however.
That was almost a crucial mistake by Aoi. He backed up and then... oh, wow, that's a huge zip. He's trying to find a PPD, and he's not going to find him.
PPD has a glimmer anyways.
Yeah, that's true. But that Lincoln Sphere did save S4 because the Winter's Curse came out and it was blocked by the Lincolns.
Well, now they know.
Now they know.
No one has a force staff either. I don't. I'm over here. Force kind of game apparently. Maybe something nice to have, but they will. 42 minutes into the game, and again, Secret are still in this, but it gets harder and harder. The net worth was at 4,000 for like a long time. It's down to about 13,000 now, and that's a pretty big issue. A lot of net worth.
I think they're in the same boat as they were last game, where they cannot fight them at all, but they do have potential to split push. Last game it was Coddle PL. This game it's Swiss Tiny. But EG's they're just really been on point about addressing this issue of not letting them get into the base to give them the opportunity to take down towers.
It's so hard to just stay this focused on making sure top is pushed out, making sure not get ratted, and all the while dealing with team fights and what have you. But they've dealt with it nicely, but Secret are like one mistake from EG away, from getting their top racks, because it's constantly pressured by Arteezy and co. Hope he has his Aghanims, by the way. So he's gonna be looking for that ancient. Oh, he has one. He's got a Granite Golem. All right, I like it.
It's something.
Yeah, they're gonna need a bit more than that, but especially now that there's a scythe up on Sumail as well.
I think Zai has to get a BKB, or he's just not going to be relevant in fights. I think it's absolutely paramount he gets a BKB, but he just doesn't have the farm. I mean, he's 110-1. He just doesn't have any ways to get farm too, because the lanes are constantly being pushed out by EG. Or if they're not being pushed out by EG, they're being pushed out by the other members of Secret who are actually getting the farm, like Tiny.
Sumail is able to get sent back with the Test of Faith coming from Secret's puppy. Top lane Arteezy still pushing this in. They're gonna wrap around with Fear, looking for Kuro. He'll find him. And Kuro is he could tether away, and he will, and he's actually just gonna TP out.
Haste.
And he barely makes it. Ugh. And Arteezy will also just TP home as well. All right. So, what else is there? There's a mech purchased up for AUI, even though Fear has one. Actually, I think he sold it. They clearly want this still, which is trying to get Guardian Greaves. Walrus Punch, they're gonna find Arteezy. They're gonna jump in. Sumail gonna get jumped on. Laguna Blade, S4 now going to work. The song comes out, and Zai will be caught.
Oh, poor
S4
Zai.
is able to ball lightning away. Oh, S4 gets caught. They'll know that he's here, but he does have enough mana. The Walrus Punch almost came, but too late. Zai comes in. Now there's the Cold Embrace. Hand of God's gonna go. Walrus Punch, Kuroki. He'll stay alive for now. Cold Embrace has to Sumail. Kuro is gonna fall. Sumail's godlike on the other side of things. Zai's still getting chased down. Ice Shards will connect Zai. Resigned to his death, it looks like. There's gonna be the Shiva's Guard. Walrus Punch Universe. Run up Shoryukens multiple times in that engagement. Turns into a 3-for-0. There is no buyback in Zai. Arteezy does have it. This is gonna be probably mid-Rex gone, maybe even bottom Rex gone as well.
Here comes a zip in from.
Send back.
It was a zip in plus a send back onto the storm. They can do that, but he's got to regen his mana, which takes a good 10 seconds sometimes.
Radiant structures.
Glyph coming out, Fear pops the ulti. I think his
Radiant's
AC is on the way
bottom
too.
tower is under
It is. Plus the mech,
Radiant's
plus the
bottom
Guardian
tower
Greaves.
has fallen.
This
There's
is
so many
looking like
items,
the
man.
beginning of the
Radiant's
end.
bottom barracks are under attack.
Next tier right is coming up for
Radiant's
evil
bottom
Jesus, and
barracks
that's going to be
has
full
fallen.
racks gone. Bottom mid
Radiant's
is
bottom
pretty much dead
barracks
as well if
has
they
fallen.
rotate there. Dai's still dead for 42 seconds. Roche is up in about 5 seconds. The only time Zai had more deaths than this at 45 minutes, he was playing IO. That is, he's had a really rough game.
I have to stress that I don't think it's his fault. I think
No, I
it's
don't
just
think so
a
either.
matter of the draft. There's just not much that Bristle can do against the heroes that EG has drafted. So I think the Razor, like I said, the Razor third pick was really, really good, really smart. I think the Wyvern last pick was extremely strong. And it's something you have to think about now, that it's introduced in Captain's Mode. It's been in Captain's Mode for quite some time now, too.
Yes.
That when you pick Wisp, there's a very large possibility of that Wyvern coming out. So something you have to be wary about.
Yeah, I was very skeptical of the Wyvern pick early on, right during the draft, but he has 6, 2, and 14. You will not find a better stat line for really any Winter Wyverns, honestly. That's fantastic, even as Boots of Travel right now. Somebody just bought a Shadow Blade. That is Universe, because why not? Pretty good.
He's had this just like random Ogre Club forever. I thought he was making a BKB, but he's looking for Arteezy. He spots him out in the trees here.
Yeah, but I bit off more than he could chew. Universe still chasing. Ooh, good blink out. He's gonna try to TP away. Song gets off just in time. Arteezy's gonna get spotted, and we'll have blink in 5, but there's gonna be the ice shots coming through. The snowball's gonna hit up as well, and Arteezy's looking like he's dead. He will have buyback. Cold Embrace is gonna go just to make sure he can't get away.
Well, this game is still showing you. Oh, that was a relocate or something. Relocate backwards. I think what he tried to do was like relocate and then wait for Arteezy and then bring him back, but just couldn't find the opening.
No,
nice try by Kuroki.
That was difficult. Too early. Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to go for those plays, and you don't make them. It's not the worst thing. Try to dress
I think he's played really well this game, actually, even though they're losing pretty badly.
Ellis is going to come out. Here comes S4, pops the BKB. Like Sphere still up. It's going to get broken now, but a little bit too late because the range Rex is going to go down. First, they want to focus on the gold, but harder to bring down than you want to think. Is it backdoor protected? It must be. Yeah, it's actually, there's a range creep, a pesky range creep. Now it won't be as the creeps are coming to the base bottom. Range Rex is going to be taken out, and they're going to go for it all. The mega creeps. EG right about to 2-0 here against Team Secret. Secret, who's had a dominating streak throughout MGL Summit 3, even at the Red Bull Battlegrounds lane in San Francisco. They might drop their first series in quite some time. They'll jump in with S4, gets hexed up. They broke the Lincoln Sphere. Alice is going to go through. There's the Laguna Blade. He does have buyback. Speaking buyback, Arteezy just brought back in. It's there, and the Cold Embrace. Man, they want to lock down this giant-ass rock. Arteezy in trouble. Song. Reset to fight. Arteezy. No BKB. They won't be able to focus him down yet, but here comes AUI looking over the side. Ice Charge BKB again for S4. They're rolling it with the Universe. Arteezy's going to fall once more. Not yet. Actually did make it out. Relocate Team 2, I think. Yeah, I don't know. He's dead. H is going to get expended. That Sumil's down. Here comes S4 again. Zai back in the fray in the front line. Losing so much damage. One more right click to do the job. The Universe is going to chase after the finish it. Arteezy does pick up Sumil's Beyond Godlike spree. Can he make it out alive is the question. Looks like he might be able to. S4 running low on mana. Universe jumping in. Walrus Punch comes through. They're just zoning him out. They want this Rex. They're going to get it. Mega Creeps coming in. Sumil. Bought back. Be a little bit careful here. Zai gets hexed up. There's the outside of Beautiful Blade again. Mid Snare comes through. Zai with no buyback. S4 ball lightning to mid lane. At this point, they're running down mid, but their tier 4s are getting crushed and dropped. This is going to be it, man. I don't know what they're doing, but this is it.
You can feel the frustration of Arteezy just running down mid, but really nicely played by EG. I honestly think in both games, Secret had an opportunity to take it. Maybe got a little bit complacent in several times in both games, but overall it was really, I would say especially this game, it was really hard for them to fight in the mid game against the draft that EG had. I think Secret had an idea of what they wanted to do for a draft, and EG didn't really have an idea what they wanted to do, but instead they drafted according to what Secret did. And it's like you pick this, all right, I'll pick this. You pick this, all right. At the end, I have Wyvern in my head, and that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna pick to deal with the Wisp. More so than that, though, it was the laning setup that EG had that really kind of threw off Secret, because Secret, yeah, they tried to ward their jungle. Chen did a good job about dewarding that, so he was able to get some farm. He fed off a couple of kills, but he ended up getting a decent farm. Mid actually did a lot better than I thought it did, or would have done, against the dual melee or dual range of Lino Wyvern. Arteezy did really well in terms of CS, got an early blink, but Bristleback had absolutely nothing. He was level 3 when Razor was 7, or something like that. 4 when Razor was 7. Bottom lane, yes, he finally got some CS, but he died a couple times to get that CS. I just think EG really laned it smartly, and I think their picks were just counter picks to what Secret did, rather than coming into the draft with a set mindset.
I think both drafts were absolutely fantastic. Game 1 and Game 2 from EG. I think they played absolutely fantastically. You talked about the draft a lot, obviously, and of course, like you mentioned, Zai having a rough time as well. But that's it, man. Evil Genius, they secure at least 3rd place. That means they'll be going home with at least $40,000 at the end of this tournament, at the end of Dota Pit. Their next matchup will be against Virtus Pro in the winners bracket finals. And of course, that means that Secret will be going down to the losers bracket. They'll have a chance to come back. They're playing against NIP in the next series. Who knows when that'll be? Let's get the schedule through. Cloud9 versus God, I can't. I just saw it literally a second ago. Cloud9 versus Hellraisers is going to be also a game on the other side of the losers bracket as well. So we still have a lot more to deal with here for Dota Pit Season 3. I mean, that was a great best of 3 series, but still a long way to go before this tournament is done. So with that being said, folks, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you guys really enjoyed the broadcast. I'm so thankful you guys are joining us today, supporting Dota Pit. It's been an absolute dream doing this tournament, casting it. I'm sure Trev would say the same thing. All the guys here for High Ground being a part of this has been absolutely amazing. Of course, there was a big delay for when the game actually got played. It was supposed to be played around April. It's currently June. Finally got it done, but it is going to be EG 2-0ing Team Secret. And with that out of the way, guys, my name is Bon. We're here. This is, of course, High Ground TV bringing you production. We got Pimp Muckle doing observing as well as doing some production as well. You can check him out at Pimp Muckle. We got Mott Packs on stats. Check him out at Mott Packs. And, of course, Tralf. You can check him out at Tralf Dota as well. With me, you can check me out at Mott Dota. Check us out at Dota Pit on Twitter and www.dotapit.com for more information on the tournament. And we'll see you next time, everybody. Have a fantastic Sunday. Bye, everybody.